In Act 4, Scene 2 of Much Ado About Nothing, Dogberry, Verges, the men of the watch, Conrad, and Borachio are gathered in the courthouse prison. The sexton, who oversees church property, is also in attendance. He is serving as the official note-taker during the examination of the criminals. It becomes apparent Dogberry has no idea what he's doing, so the sexton tells him to have the watch give their account of the previous night's events. The first watchman explains that they overheard Borachio say Don John paid him for accusing the lady hero wrongfully. He goes on to describe what Borachio told Conrad, including the part about Claudio intending to shame Hero at the wedding. The sexton finds this interesting, since Don John just happened to flee Messina that very morning, and Claudio did indeed shame Hero, which apparently resulted in her death. He instructs Dogberry to bring Borachio and Conrad to Leonato's home. The sexton leaves the examination to present the evidence to Leonato before Dogberry arrives. Dogberry tries to physically remove Conrad from the room. Conrad tries to shake him off, yelling, "Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!" Dogberry is deeply offended and wishes the sexton were still around so he could record what Conrad said about him. He hilariously insists everyone remember he is an ass. Shakespeare is known for injecting his tragedies with comedic relief for levity at crucial moments. Though Much Ado About Nothing is technically a comedy, the role of Dogberry is meant to lighten the darkness seeping into the play. His appearance after the emotionally draining scene in the church is no accident. A few verbal blunders, an incompetent examination of the prisoners, and an affirmation that he is indeed an ass all lift the mood of the fourth act. Don John, who proclaims himself to be a plain-dealing villain, manages to ruin Claudio's life for a short amount of time, but then what? Don John clearly knows the truth will come out in the end, which is why he hightails it out of Messina immediately after the wedding. Perhaps he knew Borachio would snitch, or maybe he figured someone would try to defend Hero's honor. Either way, his decision to leave is a tacit and blatant admission of his guilt. Shakespeare doesn't spend a lot of time developing Don John's character because the villain himself isn't particularly important to the progression of the plot. Claudio's doubts about his impending nuptials are far more important to the story's plot and themes than Don John's motivations for ruining the wedding.